Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. Took a bit of a longer hiatus than we expected to because, apparently YouTube just pooped out last night, as millions of people were aware all around the world. But we are back tonight and back into getting into the crowdfunded comic book scene. And tonight we are joining up again with Nandor Shaffer, whose book Seasons is a success on Kickstarter and has now decided to go kick some butt on Indiegogo. Nandor, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, RJ. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to do it. So congratulations on the Kickstarter.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really, October went by, really quickly. It was a fast month, a lot of promoting, a lot of, sharing and talking with people. And but yeah, it was a really great success and the strongest campaign I've done. And we even hit the first stretch goal, which is to get the hardcover as a deluxe hardcover that features embossing and gloss and then a thicker paper stock on the inside. Yeah, so that was really exciting because I really that was the most important for me, at the time, because I really wanted to get the book to be the best it can, and the fact that we hit that was really nice.
Was it one of those down to the wire kind of races, or did you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we got funded a week with still a week left, so that was nice. So we had a week to get there, but it was literally in the last day where we hit the stretch goal to get the deluxe hardcover. So that was really, I was really hoping we'd pull through, and it was really exciting. I did a live stream just on my personal Facebook page as the campaign was ending, and I actually got some support just by doing that, and we finally hit it. So that was really cool.
Every little live stream helps.
Yeah, it does. I've noticed that.
So we're moving out of Kickstarter and into Indiegogo with a flexible goal of $500, which is a nothing goal. This is with different perks. In fact, there is a secret perk that only belongs to the people in the chat. So if you're watching tonight, we will be putting up a secret perk to Nandor's Indiegogo page for Seasons. But before we do that, let's give you all a look at exactly what you're getting, what this comic book is. You got a video up here, so you put the work into it. I'm going to actually go ahead and play it. So let's get
all right.
Hi, I'm comics creator Nandor Shaffer, and I'm excited to finally bring Seasons to Indiegogo.
All right. So first thing I learned was it's not Nandor, it's Nandor. So that's an interesting name. Is there any heritage or lineage to that?
Oh yeah. So my mom, she's actually Hungarian. She's from Hungary, and that's she was born there, and so yeah, my mom's side of the family is Hungarian, and so yeah, my name's Nandor, and then which is even in Hungary, it's not necessarily a very common name, but my brother's name is Miklos, and that's a pretty common Hungarian name over there. So it's pretty cool. I like it. It's nice, but it's really interesting. I've noticed in some movies, I always enjoy watching the credits because there are some films, especially like the Lord of the Rings films. I believe The Hobbit specifically, where they, I think, filmed some scenes in Hungary, and I see some Hungarian names as the credits are rolling, and it's pretty cool to see.
It looks good on the front of the book because it's going to stand out from everybody else.
Yeah, right.
It looks like an author's name. So what people might not have picked up on with all that very good indie style art, kind of Dave McKean like in places. Some of the stuff he did in the early 90s, is that this is actually a superhero book, or at least a super powered person book. I don't know if you call him a superhero if he's not out, doing good and wearing a cape. Where we draw the line on that. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, for sure. So, kind of the pitch for the book is, it's a kind of an all-encompassing superhero, supernatural story. As you're saying, a grounded superhero tale where, there's no tights or symbols and any of that. He's not wearing a cape. But the main character, his name's Fletcher, and it's this one-year journey where he's kind of discovering a lot about himself, and his powers change depending on the season of the year. So with each passing season, he gets a new set of powers, and it's really, with each volume, it's going to be a 4-volume graphic novel series, and with each one, we'll see him learn a new power set and start to learn more about himself with each volume too. And so with the first book, really, he starts off in a really dark place, and he's really obsessed with this coworker at his job, and he really doesn't have a lot going for him. That's the only thing he has going for him. And when that doesn't work out the way he would prefer, he kind of has a breakdown in a sense, but it leads to him discovering these abilities that he has, and it really thrusts him on this one-year journey where he has to figure out who he is as a person and what he wants as a person too, and kind of what he finds meaningful.
Now, I think we discussed this last time, but you talked about how the powers alter each season. Are they cumulative? I mean, or do they completely change and he loses one and gains another?
Yeah, they completely change. So it's really cool because and it's something that I explore within the story where right as he's getting used to his abilities and what he's doing, a new season will kick in, and he's still learning all of this himself. And so it's like he gets the hang of things, and then we get into the new season and it's like, oh crap, I can't do what I used to do. And so it leads to some really, really fun and exciting character moments where he's starting to learn, more about what's happening to him and how to kind of cope with each change that he's going through.
I'm gonna say, if you have flight and you lose it, you better have invulnerability next. Because
yeah, you don't want to lose. You don't want to be flying, and then the seasons change, and then oh crap, you just start descending, to the floor. So that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, wake up the next morning, try to jump off your roof again. Something's not working.
Right.
It takes me back to my college literature classes here. Which was a long time ago, so it may have changed since then. But we were taught the Hemingway formula, and that was that what he would do to create a story was he would find a man who had no shelter, give him shelter, and then take that shelter away and watch him react.
Okay.
So I kind of see that in your character here, because he was powerless, and then all of a sudden he gets powers. And then those powers are altered, and he has to redeal just as he's getting comfortable with, his life situation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big mystery that is told and explored throughout the entire series. And that's a big story point for him, where he is trying to understand why this is happening to him. And, you know, he's asking the same questions that we, the reader, are asking when it comes to, wait, how did you get these? And like, why do you have these? And he's asking all those same questions. And so it really is kind of a big part of what is explored in volume 2 is him really trying to understand. Like in volume 1, it's him just being, you know, completely just, you know, shocked, and you know, you're like, oh, like what is happening to me? You're asking all these questions, and then in volume 2, he finally starts to begin his path to progressing forward to, you know, where he can maybe get some more answers that way.
Yeah, it's changing power sets is a fun idea, because you can, if you get tired of writing one, you can instantly pick up another one.
Yeah, that's been really, really fun. Like when I started, you know, when I wrote volume 1, I had a really good idea of, you know, what I wanted him to have. And then as I've gotten into the next stories, it's been honestly a lot of how the story is told, and kind of, you know, what the opposition he faces and so on, is really, you know, dependent on, okay, what kind of powers do I want him to have this time around? And so it's been really fun to explore that and see, like, how can we keep this, you know, fresh and exciting. And I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and one of my favorite things about Doctor Who is the fact that, you know, he could die, the Doctor could die, you know, he or she could die at any time, and it keeps things interesting, and it makes you really want to. It keeps it unpredictable to where, yeah, you're not just seeing the same thing over and over, or you know, if you, you know, if you love certain characters, you know what they can do. And I wanted to write a character where he doesn't know what he can do. He doesn't know what he's capable of, and that's an analogy of his own story and his own life, where he's trying to tap into his potential, and the powers are an analogy to that.
Bap2 in the chat said he's read a book where the main character's power changes every 24 hours, and the power would change based on what color his skin changed into that day.
Oh, wow.
So one day he'd be yellow, the next day he'd be green. I would assume that would, you know, his enemies would be like, no, he's yellow today. Don't pull the bank robbery today.
Yeah.
But that's, and the other thing it reminds me of course, is Dial H for Hero, if you're familiar with that series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where it was, now I know there was the Dial H for Hero that you probably ran into because you're a lot younger than I am.
Right.
Way back in the day, it was a reader involvement experiment where,
that's cool. Yeah.
where you would draw up your own costumes and describe your power sets and send it to DC Comics, and then they would have, you know, Chris and I can't remember the girl's name now, who would, you know, see trouble, dial the H dial and change into, you know, the hero. And of course, they immediately knew what their powers were. That was part of the H dial.
Oh,
but the little editor box says submitted by so and so of City State. So you would have a comic book credit.
Yeah.
Character creation. So if anybody's watching the stream on replay, the link to go to the Indiegogo site and get all the cool stuff is right down there. But if you're watching right now and you're watching the live stream chat go by, there is a secret perk link, and that would be this one I'm sitting right now, which I have pulled up. It took me a second to figure it out because I've never followed a secret perk link before, because it looks like this is the same page, but there's a new perk on the page. So
yeah,
let me add this back to the stream here, and let's take a look at, we don't have to have it that big, do we? Fox Collector Set. So what do we have in here? Because I see the big yellow banner says secret.
Yeah, so that's the discounted set that I'm doing exclusively for Indiegogo, where you get all 3 of my books, so Seasons volumes 1 and 2, and then my other book Lifeline that I did in between volume 1 and 2, where I worked with 7 different artists from all around the world to tell this one man's life story, and each chapter takes place in a different decade of this man's life, and has a different artist attached to it. So, and it's told from the perspective of a different character. So you get to learn about this this man and his story, but through the eyes of people around him. And I got to work with 7 different amazing, super talented artists that have worked on some really great stuff. And each art style is different to complement the decade and the character who's narrating the story. So you get all 3 of my books, everything that I've done, as well as the PDFs, and all the books include a book plate, and they're numbered out of so many copies and signed by me and Anthony, the artist of Seasons, and me for Lifeline there. And for what would originally be a $90 value, over $100, including the PDFs, you get for $65.
45% off. Okay, that's definitely a deal. So if you're watching the stream, you have this exclusive opportunity to go take advantage of this. And I'll pop it back up in the chat later if it scrolls off and out.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Just to remind people it's there. I like the idea of different artists for every decade of the guy's life, because I've lived more decades than you have. And I can tell you that there is going to be a visual sense change for every decade.
Yeah.
I know it's fashion and I know it's music, but I swear to God, I can stand outside. I can look at a picture of my house, and I can tell that, this was taken in the 80s and this one was taken in the 90s, and the house hasn't changed. But for some reason, things look different from decade to decade, and it's older. It's not beat up. It's not shinier or painted pink or anything. It's just, you can tell. I like how
that's something I've always loved about Polaroid cameras and pictures, and that you look at those pictures, and I look at old photos from my parents or relatives, and you get this entirely different but authentic atmosphere from it, and that's something I wanted to try to convey it in a comic as much as you can. But and I thought there were so many different people I wanted to work with, and when I thought of the story for Lifeline, I thought, man, I can actually make this work, because I can work with all these other people, but also tell the story I want to tell and make it the best it can be, with altering styles and whatnot.
I think Neil Gaiman made the comment about writing stories set in the past, and it was done in a monochromatic style. He said something about the past should always be viewed through sepia tones.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
that works out well for graphic novels. The rest of the perks on Indiegogo here, you've got Seasons. Okay, so let's explain this. Seasons #1 PDF for $1, and then Seasons Volume 1. So were there floppies before there were?
No, there weren't any floppies. Volume 1 of Seasons is told with throughout 4 issues of the comic. So the way we released it online on the website was a 4-issue series, and for issue 1, that's just the very first issue, which is 25 pages. And in the graphic novel, when you read the graphic novel, there's chapter breaks or issue breaks within the comic to give you that sense of, you can, if you're reading it, you stop there, you can put it down and come back, and you can get, kind of picked up where you left off without feeling like you have to read the entire thing. But yeah, you get the first issue for $1.
Oh, the screen goes white and it stays that way for so long. But we are back, and you have a new total.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Bob, too. That's awesome.
Now, mind you, Batu commented when he first came in that he backed this already on Kickstarter.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember he did that on our first stream.
So,
man, thank you so much. You have no idea.
We have our shake and bake. We have our shake and bake moment here on the show, and that's when we.
It's shake and bake. It's shake and bake. And I help.
It's one of the clips I keep because I love finding reasons to use it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Bob. Too. That's awesome. We're almost halfway through to the $500 goal, which is awesome. And the cool thing, if we hit, this is something that is really exciting. That if we hit the $500 flexible goal, every backer, everyone on Kickstarter, including on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, gets an exclusive art print. So if we hit that $500, it goes for everyone. It's a win for everyone.
That's cool. I've not seen anybody do an Indiegogo stretch goal that affect the Kickstarter previous people. That will keep the Kickstarter people happy because they'll be saying, "Hey, I would have waited if."
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to make them feel included because they're the reason why we got to this point, and that's another reason why. So we'll have the exclusive art print, and then also another stretch goal is the expedited shipping, and that would go for everyone. So I want everyone to feel included and kind of bring the communities together, because I know there's some people who don't like Kickstarter, and I know there's some people who don't like Indiegogo, and I feel like if we're gonna put the same project on a campaign, I feel like the best way to kind of compromise there is to merge the communities as much as you can, and I really liked that idea, and I thought it'd be a good way to, and that way for people that kind of like Bob too, what he just did there, if someone sees that art print or wants expedited shipping and they see this campaign on Indiegogo, even though they've backed the Kickstarter, they can go, well, hey, if I support this, this is going to help me out even more, or I'll get more stuff this way anyways too. So I think it's a kind of a neat way to bring the communities both together.
Absolutely. We need some unity in this world, Nandor.
That's right.
Thank you for taking the first steps.
No, what better way to do that than comic books?
It begins with Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and it's there.
Right.
So we got the season 1 PDF. This is the first volume for $5, which is a great deal. Seasons volume 2 PDF is summer, which is the new one. That's the $10 deal, which makes sense because this is the new one. You don't, the older one you can discount.
Right.
Of course, you get them both for $15. But then we get into physical product. That's what we like.
Right.
You can't find my PDF.
Yeah, what's really special about the spring hardcover, it's $20, but the thing is, there's no shipping with that one. So shipping is included with the first volume of Seasons.
Okay, so the spring hardcover, $20, $0 shipping.
Right.
Nice. The summer hardcover, $20, but there'll be shipping applied.
Right.
Why did that happen? How did?
Well, I wanted to give people an incentive to get the first book, and I didn't want to, charge them extra. There's also, of course, I have where people can get volume 1 and 2 together. But I wanted to, if they're just like, hey, I really like this campaign, maybe I only have a $20 to spare, and as if I can get more readers, that's what I really want. And I want people to read the story. So I felt like it'd be a great way to do that. And I've had volume 1 with me. It came out a year or two ago. So I'm ready to share it with people, and I want people to enter into this world and experience this world for the first time. And I didn't want them to hit another paywall, to make them kind of go, oh wait, should I actually spend more for the shipping there?
Yeah, I hear that. That's a good idea. I wish. I've seen other people do their Indiegogos sort of like and their Kickstarters, like Hero Tomorrow. We had them on a couple weeks ago. They've got the Touchline comic book. And one of the things he said, hey, everything that you see here, with the exception of international, the shipping is built into the price.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I also get that, when you have stretch goals and you have things where, you can have add-ons, you don't know what the shipping is going to be because you don't know maybe how big the book is going to get. If you're saying, hey, we hit this stretch goal, we're going to have 16 more pages of art. Suddenly, the shipping you pre-calculated in there is going to be, it adds up, and it adds up quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we have spring signed. So that's still the volume 1, $30. We're starting with spring, and we then have summer signed, also $30. Or you can save $20. And no, wait. This one's not signed.
It's actually so that's the not signed or book plated copy, that bundle right there. So it's the same price if you were to buy volume 1 and 2, separately, but you just get them together there. But lower there, you save $10 if you buy them together, and they're both signed and book plated.
All right, so that's the one where you can save $10 to get them signed and book plated. Of course, our secret bundle people just saved money off of the whole value.
Yeah, exactly.
Paying the $80 one here that you've got bundled up.
Yeah, and Bob 2 just got a great deal there, So thanks again, Bob 2.
And then for $90, you can have your name in the book. I'm assuming you also get the book.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you click on it, it kind of details. Yeah, you get the name, and then also the book.
But see, it doesn't say that. That.
Well, you get the book.
It should. You get the book. Yeah. And then the big collector set here, the collector and producer, $250. You get summer signed. Your name is put in it. You get an original page from Seasons. Could be spring, could be summer.
Yeah, and what I will do for everyone who might be watching or who's wondering, if you back at that level, I will definitely send you, the original pages for you to look at and choose. Pick and choose what you want, and you can decide if you want one from volume 1 or 2.
Very cool. And then, of course, you can be drawn into summer and that same perk. And get
this one is the be all end all. You get everything. You get as you're listing them. Original page. You get drawn in the book. You get drawn in the acknowledgments. You get your name in the acknowledgments. You get an original sketch. And if you're wondering why volume 1 is not on there, if you click on there, volume 1 is an add-on. So for people that don't have volume 1 and they want that perk, you can actually add on volume 1 to it as well.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be drawn into the book, I know what original page of artwork I'm going to want. I'm going to want on.
Exactly.
Now, the exclusive Seasons art print here. This is different than the stretch goal art print.
Yes. The stretch goal art print is different than the other art print. The other art print was on Kickstarter only. So the Kickstarter backers got that art print who backed. But if you get that producer collector level, you get that art print. And then if we hit the stretch goal, you'll get another one as well. So for people who want to see what that other art print is, they could go to the Kickstarter page and check it out. But yeah, if we hit the stretch goal, then we'll get the one that is down some ways.
I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, you're good. No, we're looking at some beautiful art here.
Trying to get me flagged off of YouTube here. It's okay. She's more Ghost in the Shell than anything.
Right.
So, look at this. Now we've gone color. So explain this shit to me here, because we were black and white for so long that I was thinking the whole book was black and white, but suddenly we have light.
Yeah. So there's as we go through each volume, we're going to be adding color to each book. For the entirety of the first book was black and white. Volume 2, we're starting to add color, and with volume 3 and 4, we're going to be adding more color. The reason for that is solely to emphasize the narrative, and Fletcher, his whole arc is trying to find meaning and purpose, and we're literally there are going to be moments where we're bringing color back into his life. Everything is very raw, everything is very kind of, I guess you could say, morose or somber. And when we add color, these are really important character moments for him, and really contemplative, introspective moments that we're going to be bringing to the story. And these pages are meant to reflect that and reflect the importance of his inner dialogue and kind of all of those things that he's kind of thinking about. And so and it really makes for amazing sequences, because as you were just pointing out, as you're reading it, as you look at it, you'll be going through the issue, go through the book, and you're just like, okay, black and white, and then you're like, oh, bam, this must be important. This is a color page. This is, we're trying to convey something here that's really, really deep or meaningful to the reader for them to understand and ponder on.
Yeah, it kind of runs, I don't know if it was intentional, but it kind of runs counter to the themes of the book, because you start with spring and you're in black and white, and then you get more color as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
But spring is, of course, the most colorful season with all the flowers blooming.
Right, exactly.
And then you lose color until winter. Everything's black and white and stark in winter.
Mm-hmm. It's meant to be that way. That's a good catch there, and that's a big reason why I wanted to do that is to kind of subvert, what we originally imagined the seasons to be, and how it's not just supposed to be what's around you, but who you are on the inside, and how what you're experiencing in your life and what you're dealing with. You can be a better person when winter comes. When everything looks awful and dead and everything's cold and brutal to you, you can be that better person.
All right. So what is it that you mentioned at the artwork when it goes color? Bam, this is important here. What's happening in this set of panels here?
This is one of my all-time favorite pages that we've worked on, me and my artist Anthony, throughout both books. And the reason for that compositionally, and you probably caught this, but the sun is setting, and with the sun setting, you see the panels are setting too. It's also like the hand on a clock. It's like moving down, and with each panel, we're also seeing kind of the color recede too. We see it full front in the first panel. By the time we get to the last panel, the black and white is starting to creep back in. And when you read the book, when we have the letters up on there, Fletcher, this is right after a really devastating hurricane that he kind of lived through and fought through. And Judith, the water kind of elemental that we saw a little upwards there, the naked lady, she they have this battle in the skirmish, and it's after that, and there's been a lot of devastation in that area, and he's seen a lot of death, and that's something he hasn't seen, and he's really contemplating his own mortality in that sunset page. And you see that as he lifts the sand, and you see the sand falling through his fingers. It's really kind of analogous to the whole dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and the idea that we're human beings are frail, and he's really starting to see that. But what's also what plays into that too is, in this storyline, he has super strength and he has invulnerability, but he's contemplating his own mortality and his own frailty. So there's a lot of symbolism and a lot of juxtaposition of themes here, and this scene is just a really, really powerful scene for him.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be very impacting when it's put into context with the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And then we got, okay, this looks bad here. He's coming out of like a whirlwind.
Right. Yeah, that's an amazing battle sequence between Heath and Baker, the fire elemental guy. And Heath, he's kind of the wind elemental figure, and they're battling there, and they're having this massive spectacle, epic battle in the midst of a fiery forest.
All right, and you can read a preview of seasons for free here if people just click the link. We got the featured perks, which we've just gone over all of, but let's go look at these stretch goals. Unlocked. Seasons Volume 2 Summer. That was unlocked on Kickstarter.
Right. Yeah.
So this is the art print that we're talking about if we hit that $500 limit.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, every backer, like I said, on both Kickstarter and Indiegogo will get that art print, and it'll be a signed art print by myself.
So he's all he's getting swamp thinged here is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very Beset kind of Beset and Toddleben kind of artwork style here.
Yeah, it's definitely it's also kind of a, you know, Christ-like image in the way of him being held up, you know, outstretched arms and his head bowed, and kind of a little, you know, harken back to that idea, and him being kind of outstretched, and, you know, he in this book Fletcher is really on the brink of you know, kind of sacrifice and kind of his own demons that he's struggling with, and we see the sun in the background, you know, really emphasizing summer, and as the yellow and orange bleeds into red, you know, and him getting caught up in all those vines. It was a really powerful, impactful image. That was one of the first images that we teased when we started working on Volume 2, and I've always really enjoyed it, and it's one of my favorite pieces of work that Anthony's done.
Now, as we get lower on the print here, I start seeing this canvas effect. Is this on canvas, or is this just printed on it to give it that sort of stippling kind of look?
Yeah, it's printed on there to give it that look, and that is actually a traditional piece, and then Anthony colored it digitally, of course. But all the line work and all the vines, I can actually show you that piece. I actually have it.
Well, let's do that.
So this is the original artwork for that piece.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you just colored it. Now that's done traditionally, you said, so that's pen and ink.
Yep.
And he scanned it and did the digital coloring on it.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome. That's very cool. And we get now if we get $1,500 more, you get expedited shipping. So what are we talking about? Like going from media to first class, or? Oh
yeah. Like we're saving a month to 2 months of shipping time there by getting expedited shipping. So the expected the ETA for all that is April 2021. But if we get the expedited shipping, everyone gets their books by February. So we're saving a couple months there on time and all of that, which is really exciting.
Very, very cool. Of course, $3,000. That's what we want to hit, folks. We want the sticker.
That's right.
we love our stickers. So, you know, and 4,000, 5,000, 10,000. Let's challenge Nandor into having to think of something to put here, because he left it locked because he doesn't believe that you're all going to put it over that, right? So,
no way, no. I love you know, keeping the hype up and keeping people interested, and I want to hit these stretch goals, and then we're going to unlock each one as we hit each one. So I have them all mapped out what I want to do, but I want people to want to see, you know, what comes next, and I really felt like, you know, of course we're going to hit the $500 goal, so you know, we'll unlock the next one after that as well.
Excellent. All right, so why bring it to Indiegogo? They make you answer that question. I love this hardcover. I love it's the trade dress on this. The fact that it's, you know, you get a lot of hardcovers for comic books, and it's just bleeding to the edge of a comic book cover with colors. This is more classy to have, you know, just one solid color of a cover inset into it, a panel from the book.
Yeah. It's we when we were designing the cover, we really wanted to give it kind of a movie poster, a classic movie poster kind of feel, something really, you know, vintage but classic, and kind of has a timeless aspect to it, is what we're trying to tap into. And what's really cool is volume 2 is going to have the same exact design and structure to it, and it's going to be red, and it's going to be really cool to have each book have its own color and see that on your bookshelf, and have them all be hardcovers side by side together.
Yeah. Now, of course, the summer one's going to have spot gloss on it, so that'll make it a little bit different.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with that. And here you guys are getting ready to sign our face.
Right.
Very cool. All right. So, what more do we need to know about seasons here? Because
well, there's only about 22 days left on the Indiegogo. We for people who want to check out the book, like I said, I have that preview on there for them to check it out and read. So if they want to know, hey, do I like this story? Can I read it on here? You can go to the link there that I have on the page, and you can check out most of the first volume and some of the second volume on the website, seasonsthecomicbook.com. And so that way they can get a really good feel for it. And, if they want, I really believe in transparency, and I really want people to, love the story and want the story they're getting, and not be surprised and get it and feel like, oh, this wasn't what I expected. I want people to know what they're getting. And I think we're being very generous in letting people, check it out and see if they like it and read it for themselves. And also, if people would prefer not to read it, on the website, it's on Webtoon to read, as well as Macroverse too, and Tapastic. So and Comixology. It's also available on Comixology if people want to check it out there.
Right. But above all that, pay money, get a physical copy. It's a comic book. It's not,
Oh yeah. That's just kind of the little appetizer, for you to get the book, because I really do believe in physical media, especially with the comic book. And the hardcovers are, really beautiful. Like I have volume 1 right here, and I think I might have showed you this the last time we were on, but it's a straight hardcover, and it even has the volume 1 there, has their names and the title, and the ISBN and everything. It's really a deluxe, hardcover, and volume 1 spring has their names.
Who did you go through for the actual printing?
So we go through Print Ninja.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a super great company. They really specialize in graphic novel and comic book printing. And I had gotten some other Kickstarter books from them before, and that people have used, and I just really love the quality. And I also printed Lifeline through Print Ninja, and they did an amazing job. But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it looks
really
very
good quality work. And volume 2 is going to even look better than this, with the thicker paper and the embossing and all that on there. All
right. Well, we're glad that you brought it on the show to show us, and we're exceptionally grateful to BAP2 for getting this thing almost to the halfway point. 23 days to go, only another $270 to go to hit that stretch goal, so that everybody gets the print. I think you better start just printing up the prints, Nandor, because you're going to get that. Everybody. If you are watching this on the replay, you missed the link in the chat for the secret perk, but I bet if you start looking around for where Nandor shows up again while he's promoting this, that secret perk will probably pop up from time to time on other live streams. So pay attention and get out there. Otherwise, hit the link on the Indiegogo and get out there and get your own copy of Seasons, Volume 1 and 2, because if you missed Volume 1, you'll obviously want to know what's going on before you jump into the second issue. And at this price, it's really a good deal to get in on. After that, we have links that support this site if you like what we're doing here. We got the T-shirt shop. We got the books. I will say at the very bottom, there is the Indiegogo tip. I don't have an Indiegogo. I should get an Indiegogo. We have a PayPal tip jar, which I never really mention because it's like, we don't have super chats yet. We're trying to do it the right way. We're over 2,000 hours of view time yet. We've got to get 4,000 hours, and then we can monetize and get the ads. In the meantime, one of the reasons we were offline for 2 days is I've had some contracts that I do for the day job that have fallen through. So I'm spending a lot of time now saying, okay, what do I do with my daytime hours now? So I will mention the tip jar for a little. Just say, hey, it keeps us kind of going. But first and foremost, it's all about the guests and the books that they're putting out. So we want you to make them feel like it's worth coming on our show by supporting them. And we do appreciate all of our viewers who go out and back our guests and get the word out that this is a place to come where you can show folks your stuff. And if you have quality, it will sell. Nandor, when is fall or autumn? I don't know what you're going to call it.
Well, we're planning on revealing more of that kind of after volume 2 comes out and everyone's had a chance to read it and check it out. But we plan on having it by either by the end of next year or early 2022. It kind of depends on the momentum that volume 2 brings us and the kind of amount of support that we get, and it's been really, really great. And of course I'm going to be doing book signings, and hopefully the convention season will open up next year to where I can do some cons.
Yes.
So I would love to go to a few cons and show off both books, and also this is kind of out of nowhere. I should have mentioned this before we went on air, but I do have a new project that I just announced today. Actually, it's and the reason for it, today is November 12th, and 2 years ago we lost Stan Lee, and it really inspired this new story that I've been working on the last I'd say year or so, and the pre-launch, there's actually for people that want to check it out, I have links to it on my social media. But the pre-launch to the Kickstarter, the pre-launch page is up right now. But it's called Man-Child, and it's actually going to be a limited series, and it's a tribute to Stan Lee and his work and kind of Silver Age comics. And so I'd advise everyone to check that out. And there's going to be more work from me, in between seasons, in each volume of seasons. I'm going to have this new project going, so really excited to share that with everyone.
Very cool. And I'm going to assume there's going to be an omnibus of seasons when all 4 of them have passed and the story's told.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be really, really cool. And I know I think the first time I came on, that main banner image that I have, you suggested that be the slipcase cover, for it.
Right.
That'd be really cool. I've actually been thinking about that and doing that. So
I come up with the ideas. I let you guys have to be involved.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you credit in the book for that idea.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, Nandor, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Glad to have helped out as much as we could, and we look forward to having you back on here for Man-Child and or autumn, fall, whatever comes next. Just hit us up anytime you want to talk to our audience. And with that, we're going to just play us out with the outro video if I can find it.
Hi. Thanks for stopping by for another Critical Blast video. The internet is a big place. And we know there are lots of other places you could be other than here, and we appreciate you being here immensely. If you enjoyed this kind of content, we hope you'll return for more. If you click the subscribe button, you'll get a little notification that when we produce new video content. If you would like to help the channel out, there are many ways to do so. Just visiting our main hub, criticalblast.com, will do wonders. But if you're more of a show me the merchandise type of person, there are links in the description of this video to our t-shirt shop, as well as links to Amazon for the books we publish under the Critical Blast Publishing imprint, including the urban fantasy anthology Gods and Services and the YA superhero novel Bulletproof